because you got people out here literally doing this. And these are people of actual positions representing the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? And where there's a dozen, there's going to be a dozen more. You know what I mean? And it's not a good look, bro. And it dives right into the fucking narrative. It dives right into the damn label that the right side gets generalized. It's racist.
A group of Republicans just got exposed when their insanely racist group chat leaked.
The group chat members spoke freely about the love of Nazis. I love leaked messages exposed.
One of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people. One talked about sending political opponents to gas chambers to, quote, watch people burn now.
And in a normal world and normal political environment, you would expect leaders from their party to come out and make statements denouncing not only the words and slurs that were used, but the members of the party that were involved in this situation in the first place.
Very easily condemn when my side is going off the rails, but I just ask the bare minimum from Andrew. When they're talking about gas in group chats, can you condemn that?
Are we really going to do this again? No. So, okay.
So you don't condemn it?
Your energy is
quote,
so aggressive.
I love gas.
All right, hold on.
Can't condemn that.
Just easy, buddy. Okay.
But instead of that happening, the Vice President of the United States came out in defense of the people involved in this racist scandal. He didn't denounce them or the words and slurs that they used. And the only person that he labeled a scumbag was the person that actually leaked the text, which is a hero to me.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But I mean, I'm like an old guy at this point. I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm. But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives.
Well, I think it's important to note that his definition of kids might be different than anyone else's. These were not college kids. These were people who were in the GOP operative class. One of them is a state legislator. The others were, running for elected party office and staffing, elected officials. So I don't think we should qualify them as kids.
But Stevie Knight, to his credit, did actually make a video about this situation. And it went about how you would expect it to go.
The ops are going to swarm to this like flies on shit and say, hey, told y'all motherfuckers, y'all racist ass bastards. Nah, dog. Hey, everybody that was part of that group removed. Before that, offer some type of incentive to expose other fools that are out here doing this shit.
There is no question or doubt that racism is alive and growing in the Republican Party, which makes these black conservatives like Stephen A. Smith, Stevie Knight, the Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, and Anton Daniels, they use their platform to prop up conservative propaganda while tearing down Democrats in the black community look ridiculous.
When you think about Rosa Parks and what she did, and everybody thinks she's so heroic, do you know Rosa Parks had a car?
And it's one of the reasons why we need to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And I don't want to be around someone who thinks the color of their skin is some kind of defining characteristic, and the most important thing about the
such thing as racism is an illusion. It's a lie that's been made up by the race hustler.
Because you can't glorify and praise a party that is outwardly racist against you and your people and not acknowledge or speak out against it without being
coon, bootlicker, coconut, Uncle Tom, sellout.
Now, Stevie has been catching hell for the past month. From his debate with Abba, where he came across uneducated and inarticulate on topics.
Anytime someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe.
And then I made a video because I stumbled on his Sinners review, which just showed how deep in the sunken place he actually was.
Sinners was ass. I don't get it, bro. You would represent the black woman in that regard, this big fat black girl, but then have the white girl, the pretty white girl, the pretty motherfucker, and she's the reason why everybody got fucked up.
But Stevie, who has always framed things from a conservative perspective, just further exposed how lost he and other black conservatives like him are. This is a party that is currently doing everything they can to set the black community back. The Supreme Court right now, majority conservatives are voting to nullify the Civil Rights Act, which will annihilate black political power in the South and make it almost impossible for Democrats to ever win back the House or the presidency. But this is the party that these black conservatives are defending.
It actually gets worse. JM says, can we fix the showers? gas don't fit the blank aesthetic.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Some Telegram messages got hacked from some leaders of young Republican groups around the nation. I love leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist rants.
Just to be clear, the young Republicans are not some kids, as Vance tried to say. These are full-grown employed adults in their 30s doing this.
Just kids being kids? Let's take a look. Alex Dwyer is 29. Samuel Douglas is 27. Peter Junta, 31. William Hendricks, 24. Is it just me, or do white supremacists age like bananas? Joe Maligno is 35, and Luke Mossaman is 24. Now, this young man has some choice slurs for Mexicans, and I really think you might want to get a 23andMe, because como se dice, you don't look white. Being a racist or being a bigot is not a mistake. Those are active choices.
Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. You're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jews to be honest. Great, I love Hitler. I'm ready to watch people now. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play ball. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we'd be cooked for real, for real.
And then it got leaked.
New fallout tonight from a racist and violent group chat involving leaders of some young Republican groups, as reported by Politico. The outlet obtaining more than 7 months worth of Telegram messages in which they say members muse about using gas against political opponents. I'm ready to watch people burn now, one person responds. Another describing as epic. The chat includes anti-Semitic comments and racial slurs against Black, Latino, Asian people, and other epithets used more than 250 times, according to Politico. The outlet says one person, after being told backers would support the most right-wing candidate for a leadership role, responded, "Great, I love him."
This is actually what conservatives think about immigrants, anybody of color, useful idiot black conservatives like Stevie Knight, Anton Daniels, and all the rest of them that have these platforms where they tear down the black community but give a blind eye to all the racism that happens every day on the right. Because make no mistake, a Trump flag, a MAGA hat, is the new Confederate flag. It is not a stretch to say that this type of racism and behavior goes all the way back to Confederates not being punished. Instead, they were rewarded and memorialized with statues, streets, schools, and bridges named after them.
None of this would be happening if they had just punished the Confederate Army like they were supposed to. I don't think we would have had the Klan. I don't think we would have had Jim Crow. I don't think we would have had as much institutional racism. If it was really about freeing the slaves, then they would have cleared out the infrastructure that allowed it to exist for so long. They would have outlawed the Confederate flag. The only mention of the Confederacy would have been in history books to let people know this is what happens when you betray your country. It's like removing cancer. If you're going to try to get rid of cancer, you have to get rid of every single cell. Otherwise, it's going to spread again.
So it's no wonder that people racist as the Young Republicans or Proud Boys group or any other alt-right group that you can think of not only feel protected, but feel emboldened. And make no mistake, it is the same spirit of the Confederacy that carries on today.
They love the watermelon people. Stay in the closet, FAGGOT. They refer to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and they muse about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about their enemies and driving them to self-deletion, and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery.
Lauding Republicans who support slavery in 2025 is still the craziest thing to me. When I say these people are obsessed with people of color being subservient to them, that is all they want, to place themselves at the top of the food chain with everybody else struggling beneath them. So again, how can black people be okay supporting a party like this? And I already know Stevie is just going to try to say that it's these few people and not the party as a whole. But you see very clear in the text messages, lauded Republicans who they believe support slavery. So they're not just talking about the people in their group chat. And based on the current policies, executive orders, and Project 2025, you can see their intentions for people of color.
Yeah, this is the individual in question here. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the N-word, I think more than a few times. Variations of a racial slur more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to is epic. And Peter Yunta, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in the message sent in June that everyone that votes no was going to the gas chamber.
Using the gas chambers and Holocaust as jokes is just as bad as them joking about slavery. We're talking about millions of people that were murdered, and they're making a joke of it. But it's not even a joke, because that's really what they think.
The GOP's 15,000 member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued.
Just to highlight that, a person like him was in the running to be a chair of an organization with 15,000 members. So he would carry that resentment, hatred, and racism toward everybody that was not a white conservative with him. And any changes of policies these people will make when they progress through the Republican Party will only benefit white conservatives and hurt everyone else.
Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. When do we start bullying, dude? We have a solid 3 people who can probably have them want to jump.
They're out here texting about gas chambers, wanting to see people burn and jumping people, but the black community is violent, right?
I'm ready to watch people burn now. We gotta pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower, relax, boom.
I really want to see how he spends this, how he's going to try to call these few people wrong, but say it's not the party as a whole, when the party as a whole has refused to denounce any of these people.
The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another's job offer was rescinded.
Yeah, but we know what happens when white people get exposed for racism. Whenever somebody white gets punished for racism, they get rewarded from the right. This goes all the way back to George Zimmerman being sent hundreds of thousands of dollars and going on a speaking tour, signing Skittles bags. Yes, that actually happened. Anytime any of these people get exposed for racism, you can guarantee they will have a GoFundMe blowing up with hundreds of thousands of dollars being donated to them.
The 2,900 pages of chats shared among a dozen Millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator.
Again, these weren't kids at all. These were professionals working their way up the ranks of the Republican Party, carrying these racist sentiments with them. And even in another text, they even said how they had Donald Trump's endorsement.
Glad it's only a dozen of these idiots.
I knew that was coming. It is not only a dozen of them. It's a dozen of them that were caught texting like this. You cannot compartmentalize this type of racism. It is party-wide, and there are policies and actions right now that's happening to back that up.
At 15,000, I'm like, oh, we don't need this shit, bro. We don't need this shit, dog, because it just adds more fuel to the fire, man. And ain't nobody gonna sit here and try to go through the weeds, especially the left side. They not even gonna check and see, what's valid, what it is, what it ain't, or what not. All they see is Republicans saying this, and this, and the actions of these few is going to label the entire group.
This man hasn't said one word about the text messages yet, or the people that sent them. It's kind of like Vance. Vance didn't say anything about the text messages. Vance went on a whole rant saying that he would teach his kids not to send that type of stuff through text, and kids shouldn't be punished for dark jokes. Again, these weren't kids, and that type of attitude and support lets you know this is a party-wide problem. This is not just 12, 15 people in a group chat. This is people that work in the party that are surrounded by people that think like them. But Stevie is going to try to find a way around all of that.
This is not what the we need, dog. If this is fucking true, but it's looking like it is.
Stevie is going to try to claim it's AI. Politico has 15,000 text messages that were leaked to them. This is not like, this is not Photoshop.
Credibility doesn't matter. It's about how headlines are going to make you feel. And we do not need this, bro, but it's here now. And ain't shit we can do besides everyone come together and isolate these fucking idiots and hold them accountable, bro. Because these motherfuckers are the reason why people get labeled certain things, get labeled racist, get labeled Nazis.
It's not just these people. You can go back to Charlie Kirk's memorial and Stephen Miller using actual Nazi speeches.
You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing.
And Charlie Kirk's messaging as a whole, which was overall racist and anti-black, since that's their new figurehead, it's not just this group of 30-year-olds that are racist or have shown racist tendencies. ICE is literally tweeting about ethnic cleansing, using white nationalist words like re-immigration, which is basically an inherently racist call to action. Black history is being erased and Confederate symbols are being restored. You cannot act like racism doesn't exist with the Republicans.
Because you got people out here literally doing this. And these are people of actual positions representing the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? And where there's a dozen, there's going to be a dozen more. You know what I mean? And it's not a good look, bro. And it dives right into the fucking narrative. It dives right into the damn label that the right side gets generalized. We need to cut these cancers out, get them the fuck out of here.
That's a nice sentiment. How do you do that when the vice president is defending them? Is he just finding out that racism is a real thing, especially in the Republican Party, when the current president that he's defending refused to even acknowledge that the first black president was even a U.S. citizen?
The ops are gonna swarm to this like flies on shit and say, hey, told y'all motherfuckers, y'all racist ass bastards. Nah, that's not conservative. That's some racist ass. We need to address these motherfuckers as racist ass.
That is 100% Republican. That is 100% the right.
And that's it. That is very surprising to see, you know, actual representatives, people that represent the government in some type of professional capacity talking like that, bro. Like, it's only certain motherfuckers that talk like that. I mean, like trolls and idiots talk like that, bro. But you literally got troll-like idiot individuals in leadership roles, dog. That's crazy.
Does this man not know his own party and the leadership of his own party? Or the people that supported an entire insurrection because they lost an election?
Bro, but I got to keep 100 and just think about other people in high positions that may share the same perspective as them, which it's going to be the minority. But it's just...
He was so close to actually almost making a good point. Because yes, racism like this does not exist without being supported at a higher level. Because if that was the case, these people would have been weeded out. The fact is they have relationships with higher ups and promising careers in the Republican Party. And I honestly think they still do. I don't think a bunch of racists are going to fire somebody else for being racist. They'll probably let time pass and work their way back through the party.
This ain't all of them. This ain't all of them, dog. And these seem to be people of influence and shit that's gonna mold other motherfuckers' minds, having them think the same fucking ways, perpetuating this fucking problem, dog. And shit we do not need, bro. Shit we do not need, man. Like, you got to be a weird motherfucker to be talking like that, though.
Stevie is going through all the stages of grief right now. He already was like, if these text messages are even real. Then he said it was just this small group of people. He's clearly mad that this is happening. Depressed that he even has to talk about his own party and he can't demonize black people or Democrats. And now he's just accepted the fact that he's a member of a racist party that does not like black people.
Your average Samaritan don't be out here just having casual conversation talking like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think average normal people do. I also don't think most conservatives are average or normal people. I'm not saying everybody on the conservative side is racist or crazy, but if you support racist and destructive policies that hurt everybody except the people at the top, then yeah, you're a part of the problem, whether you say racist things or not.
Don't even make no sense, bro. Like, how you that demented? Like, position aside, as you as an individual, how you that demented, bro? Like, I'd expect to see motherfuckers trolling, doing some shit like that, whose lives are fucked up.
It's easier to be demented and say things like that when you don't think of other people as human beings. That's how the Nazis reasoned with everything that they were doing, that they didn't see Jews as human beings. That's how slave owners justified everything that they were doing, that slaves weren't human beings.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got shit else to do besides saying the most worst sadistic shit on comments and trolling motherfuckers, bro. But these motherfuckers actually hold positions. Regardless of how they were sourced, motherfucker, they say what they say. So these messages is real. These messages is real, dog.
There goes Stevie's AI excuse.
At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel with the U.S. Small Business Administration.
When we say racism is systematic, this is what we mean. People that hate and resent people of color are in positions of power like that. When the Small Business Administration can dictate what resources go where, and if someone racist has a hand at an office like the Small Business Administration, do you think they're going to assist black business owners in starting and growing their own company and finding investment capital for them? No, all of those resources are going to go to white people and white communities that does not benefit black people at all.
So this whole thread is legit. That's insane. That's insane. And these people make decisions. They're leaders. They're looked up to. That's how you fucking see the world.
I really think bro is just discovering racism. What did you think was going on, Stevie?
And you're representing the whole fucking side. People look at y'all and refer to y'all as the epitome of this political side. And y'all are out here making motherfuckers look like demons in the flesh. Like, if they looking like that, then everybody else must be that way. No, that ain't what the fuck it is. It's just, I can't even hold you, bro. It's hard for me to come to terms with actual people of position being in a motherfucking chat like that, participating like that, not saying nothing to nobody. And it's one thing to stay in that fucking chat too. You can remove yourself from a fucking chat, right? If you don't want to fucking whistle blow, you don't want to be included. 251 times mixed into formal conversations about wiping votes, social media strategy, and logistics, the members of the chat slung around an array of slurs, which Politico is republishing to show how they spoke.
An array of slurs is crazy.
This is diabolical, bro. Hey, everybody that was part of that group, removed. Get them the fuck out of here, bro.
They make these 12, 15 people that got caught up go away. They can sweep this under the rug without racism actually being addressed, corrected, or rooted out.
Right, because you can't do nothing about a motherfucker's mindset or perspective if they ain't acting on it, man. That's the scary part. Like, how many more motherfuckers is out here thinking this way?
The people that make the laws and write and enforce policies are thinking that way. Hence, systematic racism, and it's been that way.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. It's like, I'm thinking about like how it was when I was working at Border Patrol, you know, being part of a damn group chat with, you know, my coworkers that are out here calling undocumented aliens, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's off duty or on duty, bro, like, especially with people of positions, like high positions, agents at the top of the motherfucking food chain, top of the hierarchy and shit, bro, like, that's unheard of, bro. It's unheard of. But you got these fools out here that got caught red-handed. That's not right-wing. That's not Republican, bro.
That is 100% right-wing conservative Republicans. And he's just in denial about it. This country is finally waking up and seeing what's happening and seeing what's at stake. That's why you have millions of people out today at the No Kings protests all across the country. That's why you have people like Gavin Newsom speaking up about what the Supreme Court is doing. And that's why we all have to pay attention from this moment forward. Use our platforms, use our voices, and speak out. And definitely call out clowns like Stevie and all these other black conservatives that are useful idiots and bulletproof shields for conservatives to hide racism. Because again, these black conservatives will use their platform to call out anybody black or anybody from the left while trying to destroy any unity in the black community. But they will not call out anybody from their own party. They will not talk about white people. They will not talk about Republicans. It's gonna get harder and harder for people to act like they don't know what's going on. And this is a clear example of that. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.